京都府出身サマンサこと青木田正さんによります百人一首から学ぶ日本人の感性です。青木さん、よろしくお願いいたします。
日本には世界に誇れる和歌文化があります。たった31文字で表現されたそれには、当時の日本人の美しい感性が凝縮されています。そこに隠された日本語の深み、古来から日本人の持つ美意識、そして現代を生きる私たちもきっと持っているその美の感性を感じてみてください。大山行くのの道の遠ければ、まだ踏みもみず天の橋立。This is the first waka poem I memorized when I was in the second grade of elementary school. More than 10,000 of waka poems were read during the Nara and Heian periods, when waka culture was at its height. 百人一首 is a special collection among them, and they were chosen by Fujiwara no Sadaide, the great master of waka poetry. Also, Japanese have been familiar and resonated with this collection for over 100 years. It is a wonderful art and culture which Japanese should be proud of. So today, I'd like to share the fascination of the Hyakunin and a great sensibility of our ancestors who wrote waka. Hyakunin is a poetry that captured our daily life and makes it shine with words. Our ancestors were very sensitive to changes in human emotion in a good way, and were also very good at coexisting with nature. Here are some examples of waka poetry. Nageke tote tsukiyawa mono omowasu kakochi ga onaru waga namida kana. It means suffer from love sickness. The moon said to me. No, it's not true. I'm crying by blaming the moon. This poem was composed by a man. The real reason for his tears is from his love sickness, but he blames the moon, as if moon tells him to cry. Japanese don't have a sense of beauty like beautiful autumn night exists only for myself. Natsume Soseki translated I love you into月が綺麗ですね, when he was an English teacher in the Meiji era. From this instance, Japanese are always reminded of our beloved person when we see the moon from a long time ago. In Hyakunin Isshu, there are 78 poems that use nature to express our emotion. Among them, 20 poems are about autumn. Our ancestors might have felt lonely, but that something was missing. Sorrowful, but comfortable. They might have found the beauty in those feelings in autumn. Also, there are many poems related to cherry blossoms. People in the past described loveliness and transcendence of the falling of cherry blossoms. Originally, cherry blossoms were the dwelling place of gods or spirits and a sacred object to make us think of life and death. 百人一首 shows us we have been thinking the same way about cherry blossom since ancient times. Also, it expresses the cherry blossom as a flower. Japanese have laughed about cherry blossom from long time ago. Japanese have a unique sensibility about nature, so you might feel the classic elegance of ancient Japan, right? In 百人一首, different words are used from modern Japanese. Also, authors use indirect words and create depth of words. There are also fascinating point of 百人一首. That's why we can see that Japan has a culture of using indirect words. And also, it is our sense of beauty. About 80% of 百人一首 are related to nature. So we can realize that Japanese people were very close to nature and coexist with it. Actually, most of 百人一首 are about love. 有馬山稲の笹原風吹けばいでそよ人忘れやわする It means when wind blows, the bamboo grass placed in Inano is close to Arimayama. Bamboo grass makes sounds. You're worried about the changing of my mind. But how can I forget you? Like this, almost all 百人一首 are about love, or connecting to nature, or connecting to love. When authors see nature, you can also feel the changing of the author's heart by looking at each poem. You might feel excited or sorrowful when you look at the 31 letters about love. That's the big attraction of 百人一首. One of the reasons why I like it. I'm sure this is true art because it makes many people's heart move all the time. If this is not art, what is? You might believe that 百人一首 is a difficult thing. Actually, it's easy for anybody. I was playing 百人一首 when I was in the second grade of elementary school. It was natural for people in the Nara and the Heian areas to write waka. It might be difficult to bring the waka culture back in this modern era, but we should regain this wonderful Japanese sensibility. It's time to touch, enjoy nature, and express our emotion. The world is waiting for our beautiful waka poetry at this moment. 最後に、私から iBS 48期のみんなに今の気持ちを歌います。限られた時だからこそ愛したい。君と涙し、笑い合った日々。Thank you for listening.
Samantha, thank you for an excellent speech, and I really appreciate it because, of course, I've always known about waka, but I didn't understand it. The language is, like you said, completely different from modern Japanese, and I had no idea what they were saying. Maybe a very vague idea. I knew they're kind of about nature, something like that, usually. So I really appreciated your speech because now I understand waka at least a little bit. And I was really interested to know that even though they are on the surface about nature, that many of them are actually about love. I had no idea about that. And speaking about Natsume Soseki translating I love you as 月が綺麗ですね. my wife and I joke about that sometimes. When I heard that, I was like, wow, Japanese people are so embarrassed to admit love. This is so silly. But now I actually kind of understand. It's maybe still difficult for me to agree with that way of expressing emotion, but at least now I can understand and appreciate it. So thank you for that.
Thank you.
学院長コメントお願いします。
ちょっと無理かもしれないですね、西洋社会の人たちにね。あの時代の和歌、今の日本とはもう全然違う言葉とか使ってるとか、ずっと一緒ですよね。1500年、2000年、ほぼ同じように歌い続けて、ラブレターですもんね。もう僕もたくさん和歌を書いて、誰もそれを理解してもらえなかったという悲しい恋の時期があるんですけれども、今も書いても理解してもらえないんですけど、だけども教養としては和歌ができることイコール文化人だったんですね。今でもそうなんですよね。で君はもう最後に素敵なね和歌を48期生の皆さんに歌ってあげましたけど、和歌もう書く人もう大抵男の人はそういう思いで女性に書くわけですけど、女性が返してくれる時に初めて成立するんですよね。たくさん返したのかもらっても無視してきたのか分かりませんけど、日本史の白駒先生どうだったんですかね。ちょっと聞いてみたいですね。
本当に素敵なプレゼンテーションありがとうございます。私も和歌が大好きです。ただ南先生、残念なことに私は和歌を味わう一方で自分で読んだりいただいたりすることはないんですけれども、でもさっき南先生がおっしゃった通り、和歌っていうのは相手に送ってそれにやっぱり答えてもらうっていうのが和歌の醍醐味で、和歌の和という字は日本を表す和であり、和むとか山すとかいろいろな読み方がありますけれども、実は和歌の和には答えるっていう意味があるので、和歌に日本人は真心を込めてきて、その相手の真心に応えるっていうのがやっぱりその和歌の心だと思うんですね。南先生、ぜひそんなにたくさんの歌を読まれた過去があるなら和歌の文化も復活させていただきたいです。よろしくお願いします。
何回だって嘘です。
ありがとうございました。